as I said before, that today's topic is about domestic violence. Now, before we proceed, I want you to tell me, any of you, what do you know about domestic violence? Because some of you, some of my friends said that it's quite a deep topic, very challenging topic. So first, any one of you who would like to share your 2 cents of worth? What's the meaning of domestic violence?
Well,
yeah, Nurisberg.
Sorry, just a moment, please. Well, I think that domestic violence or domestic abuse is just like a pattern of behavior that is used to maintain or control power over another person. It can be sexual, emotional, physical, and even economic threat or even action over a particular person. And so you can have a lot of kinds of domestic violence. It can be used with children, with your partner, intimate partner, or even with older people, you know. And it's a kind of pattern. It's a kind of pattern of behavior that sounds aggressive, and sometimes not only sounds, but sometimes actually happens to a lot of people. Yeah, in my humble opinion.
Oh yeah, thank you so much for your excellent definition. Yeah, you seem to know it like the palm of your hand. Okay, Elena, yes, please.
Yeah, I just want to add one little detail, that domestic means that it happens in family. Yes, inside one family. It's not like violence outside somewhere, but it is what happens in someone's family.
Yes.
True?
Yes, you're right. Yeah.
Am I correct?
Yes, definitely. Because here we have domestic. So the word domestic here refers to home. Yeah. So not outside the house. Okay, good. Anybody else who would like to add? What's the meaning of domestic violence? I think Nurisberg and Elena have. You both have given us a very clear definition.
And may I?
Yes. Okay. Sure.
And I think domestic violence is first of all, domestic violence is so awful. Yes, among the people, and I meet this domestic violence, especially as Elena said, inside the family. Yes, I totally agree with her, because for example, my country is a Muslim country. Yes, we always see domestic violence in different families between wife and her husband. Yes, and at the end, this domestic violence, it could be death. Unfortunately, yes, always one partner, may kill, sometimes his wife, or instead of husband. And as what's his name? Nuremberg, yes, said. Yes, sorry, Nuremberg. Domestic violence can be, and even though above the children, as he said, domestic violence above the children, it's so awful. Yes, because, and I can't see and I can't watch this about domestic violence and other types of the violence on TV and on the internet. But I think it depends on human's mind. Yes. But it's so deeply topic, and I think in the Muslim countries we always meet this domestic violence.
Yeah.
And under other Europe countries, I don't know. I have no idea. It's my humble opinion. Yes.
Yes.
Where are you from originally?
Christina, do you have anything to say?
Sorry, Linda. Sorry, Linda.
Well,
Yes.
Where are you
yeah.
from originally, Sol?
Sorry?
Saule.
Sole, where are you from originally?
I'm from Kazakhstan.
She's from
Kazakhstan?
Kazakhstan. She's from
Kazakhstan.
Kazakhstan.
Oh yeah, thank you, thank you. Sorry
Because
for interrupting.
because sorry, just a moment. Because if maybe you know, maybe you don't know, in Muslim countries, in the main head or major person in every family is a man, and that's why wife always should listen to his husband, even though he is right or is not right. Yes, but I think that for this reason, and there are a lot of battles and arguments, yes, between wife and the husband. That's why, and it could be domestic violence between partners.
Yes.
And in other countries, I don't know.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, Christina. Thank you, Sole.
Yeah.
Christina, please.
Well, I think about the point of Sauli, it's about the violence. Domestic violence is about culture as well. But I think you can find domestic violence in each family. I think this topic important because sometimes you even didn't realize that you are under this kind of violence. I mean, the violence can be psychological, can be not just physical. And I think most people must know about this topic to realize that they are under this kind of violence, and it's important to know all the reasons why it happened.
Yes. Yes, you're right, Christina. Yeah.
Thank
So,
you.
let's move on to the next slide. Now, I've got this picture. So what can you explain if you look at this picture? Somebody can tell me or tell us here. What can you see in the picture? So here we are practicing our spoken English.
It's a shadow.
So, please be.
It's a shadow.
Yes. Okay, Christina.
It's a shadow about a man hitting a woman.
Yeah. Okay. Good. So perhaps
And may I say?
they may be husband and wife. Yeah, they may be husband and wife. So the husband is looks like he is clenching his fist, trying to strike a blow, yeah, to his
Yes.
wife. And his wife, as you can see in the picture, his wife, she's gonna she's gonna avoid that blow. So I think she looks like she is cringing, you know, she starts to cringe at the idea of being beaten by his husband, by her husband. Yeah. So anything else, Candy?
And yes, yes, can I?
Oh yes.
And
Okay. Solid.
yes, I think in my opinion, it's a physical violence. Yes, and when man always wants to rule of your wife, maybe in the family, and I think it's so awful, terrible, yes, for women, because always
Being the
having
object,
agreement.
the object of
Yes,
violence, yeah, domestic violence.
yes, and I think men shouldn't argue with his wife and do physical violence, yes, above her. I think it's so awful, and it can be woman have a depression, and yes.
Yeah, so you're trying to say there is actually a better way of solving family matters instead of just giving or doing domestic violence like this in the picture.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think that for me, the best way of dealing things or trying to solve problems is through a dialogue, because
That's right. Communication.
we are supposed to,
Yes.
yeah, we are supposed to use words to convince people.
Yes.
Not, you cannot convince people by force,
Mhm.
yeah, by abuse, by violence. Unfortunately, when we don't have, I'm saying we, but in a general idea,
Yes.
when we don't have words, unfortunately, we use force to uh, make people believe us, to make people understand what we want, to make people understand what we mean, unfortunately. But we're
Not,
supposed to
not
use,
understand, but follow our rules. People could not get understood. Did not, people could not make someone understand by force. They can only make them follow them, make them obey them, but not understand.
after
Yes.
all, we are created with intelligence.
Yes.
But as Solid said, violence, domestic violence or domestic abuse happens around the world in every country, in
Yes,
every country.
I
Yeah,
think so.
of course, there are levels. In my opinion, there are different levels, but it happens around the world as a whole lot.
Mhm.
Yeah, and it can be everyone can be a victim of violence. Yeah, regardless its economic power or its position in society. Yeah, it can happen to everyone.
Mhm.
Domestic violence can happen everywhere and to everyone. But I think that if we, a kind of moment that we are having today, it is really interesting because we are discussing a topic that happens every single day in our life. Maybe it's not happening in our home, but it can happen to our neighbor, for example, and we are listening to, we are looking at. Sometimes we can do much, we cannot do much to to
Mhm.
prevent this violence. Yeah,
Mhm.
but discussing this topic tonight, I think it makes all the difference because we are reflecting about an important topic, an important subject that surrounds us in a certain way somehow. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Now we're
Thank
gonna
you.
listen to Candy. Candy, do you have anything to say about this picture, or have you ever seen someone, or yeah, the people around you experiencing this kind of domestic violence in their houses?
Yes, yes, I know I have some friends who gone under these kind of situations, and it's really sad. What I see in the picture is like um, two people suffering, the one who's about to hit the woman and the woman herself. I always wonder what would happen if someone in my family, someone close to me, um, was actually someone violent. Like I have a brother, for example. I would try to help him. And what happened if you have, I don't know if you guys have children, but what happened if you raise them with love and compassion, and then the kid in the future turns out to be violent. So sometimes I've read a lot about this in the past. Sometimes it's just in the genes or maybe an experience the kid someone has in their lives that make them. I think I know that this is wrong. They're not capable of using words, even if they want, they can, because they're sick and they need treatment, both. I think the man in the picture and the woman. So even in the safest, I have friends in the US, I think, and the statistics say that the US is actually one of the safest places in the world in terms of domestic violence. And yet there are a lot of women who are being hit every day. So I don't think, my question is, maybe you guys can answer, what makes a place safe? Why is the US one of the safest places in terms of domestic violence? Like maybe stricter rules, more education. So how can we change this? I think that's my question.
Yes, a very smart and tricky question, actually.
Yeah, very, very broad
It is.
question. I still think this is in human nature. Some people are like that. And this is actually, yeah, probably this could be treated somehow. I don't know. But I know that sometimes, you know, kids, they are not affected by, yes, of course, they are affected by their family. But sometimes it's very good family and no one was cruel to this boy. But he's like he is. He's violent, he's aggressive all the time, and no one can do anything with him. Such people just, you know, they are born with this quality, with aggressiveness, with violence to other people. So sometimes people are like that. But yeah, that is a very little amount of people. Yes, they are not a major, but some people, yeah, they became like this. So this kind of violence could be reduced, could be somehow probably, you know, we can affect this. We can influence on, you know, not making the problem bigger, but to reduce the numbers, as you said, like in some countries, there are less cases, in some countries there are more. So that really depends on some probably rules, some laws, maybe could be, you know, some educational programs. So something can be done in this way, of course, but not like, I don't think we can eliminate the problem like in the whole.
Yes, okay, thank you, Elena. So speaking of domestic violence among children, yeah, so because I've just heard Elena mention children are all sometimes victims of violence. I've got the next slide. And Candy, I'm sorry if you think that it's too late for you, you may just leave, but thank you so much for being here. And we really wish that you can join, yeah? Actually, we usually, we normally hold the meeting for about 1 hour, actually, yeah? So, and we are running out of time, actually, because I'm using the basic Zoom application. So the meeting will end suddenly in less than, I don't know, perhaps 7 minutes. So I don't know how much time we still have. But let me just be quick. So we go to the next picture. This is about children. So here, when as I said before, that children also they become, oftentimes they become the subject or the victims of violence when their parents are debating, are in very hot arguments with each other, and children are usually the ones who suffer the most. Yeah. So just like shown in the picture here, little boy, you see that this boy looks like he doesn't want to listen to his parents. Yeah, so he was trying to cover his ears, so he doesn't want to hear actually that his parents are arguing. Yeah. So what do you think about this? Oh, wait.
I think a couple never should have a disagreement. Yes, when their children at home. Yes, near them, and I think it's the victim is a child. Yes, about this disagreement and violence, because I think our children are viewers, yes, of our disagreements and domestic violence, and it's
so
yes, they are viewers.
You mean to say that parents shouldn't do this in front of children?
Yes, in front of children, and our children are viewers, and I think in future it could be a girl or boy. When they grow up, and I think they will repeat this their parents' actions. Yes, and they should they think that our parents do the right things. Yes, in front of children. But I think it's not right, and we should. Yes, I think every couple have a disagreement and violence in every family. Yes, but we should do it maybe when our children are away. Yes.
Yes.
And I think, but it's an awful situation. We never do this. Our all problems, solve our problems, have a disagreement in front of our children. It's a bad thing.
Yes. Okay. So I'm afraid the time is almost up here. We still have 5 more minutes to go. Okay. So do you have any thing else to say, friends? I mean, I'm talking about domestic violence here. Actually, the idea, I bring up this idea because I was once in that situation. Perhaps you might be shocked, a little bit shocked. How come this domestic violence happened to you? Actually, this one has ever happened to me in my family. But I'm gonna tell you about my story in the second round. So I'm gonna end the meeting right now. But please, if you want to join for the second round for the next 40 minutes, please use the same link. Please use the same link. Okay. I will end the meeting now.
Okay. It was great to meet you all. Thank you so much for inviting. I hope to be able to join again soon.
Yeah,
Bye.
certainly.